Hello everyone, and welcome to Faux News, your local source for completely unbiased news. I'm Carol Clyde, and today with us we have our 2020 presidential race nominees. I'd like to introduce Republican nominee Senator Brandy.
Hot dog, cheese bug, big one with a football. Put your boots on, cause Oprah's watching NASCAR. Chuck Norris, for tourists. Who doesn't want to see Elsa?
Thank you, Carol. I'm truly honored to be here with y'all to discuss the future of our great country. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And I would also like to thank you for graciously opening up your home to us for this interview.
Oh, of course. I was all too happy to. Thank you.
And next I'd like to introduce the Democratic nominee, Brianna Davis.
I thought my song was going to be Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Fantastic. Welcome, Ms. Davis. Why are you not wearing shoes?
Mr. Brandy said he didn't want me to defile his home, and so I took them off.
No, I didn't.
That's very unprofessional, Ms. Davis. But, let's continue. I'd like to be the first to congratulate you on scoring that nomination. And now, I'd like to discuss some hard-hitting issues with the both of you. Ms. Davis.
It's Vice President Davis, actually.
Really? Okay. Ms. Davis, I'd like to first discuss with you something that is often overlooked on presidential debates: women's reproductive rights, namely abortion. Now, would you consider yourself to be pro-life or pro-abortion?
Oh, well, I would definitely classify myself as pro-choice. I mean, even though there are a lot of, different schools of thought on the issue, I just think it's really
Now,
important.
not to interrupt girl talk or anything, but don't you think we should talk about something that affects all of us here? We wouldn't want to be sexist or anything. I know Ms. Davis doesn't let anyone be. So let's talk about some real issues here, like our gun rights.
Yeah, I guess that gun rights are important. I'd love to talk about that.
Fantastic. Senator Brandy, why don't you start off by telling us your views on our God-given Second Amendment rights?
Thank you. I believe our right to bear arms is the single most important thing we could possibly discuss right now. Thank you.
Fantastic. And Ms. Davis?
Vice President. It's Vice President.
Would you care to say anything about his views on that?
Well, I would say that I'm definitely a moderate on this issue. Although the people in our country, we do have the right to bear arms, except for I believe that there should be regulations on this amendment. I mean, yes, we should be able to hold and have guns. However, I believe that a person should also have the right to...
Communist.
Excuse me?
Fantastic. Let's move on. Only 2 more questions. Senator Brandy, would you care to comment on the bill that Ms. Davis recently signed to soften the immigration process?
Thank you. Well, listen, Carol, let me just start out by saying that I truly feel for those dirty illegals. I truly do. America is the greatest country in the world.
Agreed. Absolutely.
But they need to back the hell off. Listen, these immigrants, they come in, they steal jobs. This is why I voted against raising the minimum wage, to help deter the illegals from trying to steal jobs from hard-working Americans and from the kids. That's my campaign slogan. I feel very strongly about it. Bill can fix it for the children. Thank you.
Fix it? Fix what?
That's an inspiring slogan. What's your slogan again?
Well, I'm actually quite glad you asked. Since I've been more on the progressive side with my campaign, I've decided to come up with the slogan, bring on the change.
Oh, well, do you really think that's something that the average American can relate to?
I think that everybody wants America to change for the better.
Not everyone wants change, Ms. Davis. Senator Brandy, you recently signed a bill that would disallow homosexual marriage. Would you care to comment on that?
Thank you. Now, let me start out by saying that I have nothing against the gays. I truly do. But what they do is disgusting and should not be encouraged by things like marriage or basic human rights. I mean, if 2 men can get married, then what's next? 2 dogs? Thank you.
Are you seriously asking if 2 dogs can get married?
Well, no, I'm asking if a man can get married to 2 dogs. That would be an abomination. I don't want my children seeing that. Thank you.
2 consenting Adults agreeing to get married is something completely different than someone marrying a literal animal.
I think what Senator Brandy is getting at is that it's a slippery slope. Where do we draw the line?
The line is pretty freaking obvious.
That's what the homosexual terrorists want you to think. They prey on your sympathies, and then the next thing you know...
How are you running for president if you can't even sympathize with the minorities in this country?
Ms. Davis, we're trying to keep a mature tone here. Can you please stop interrupting?
Why bring race into this? Why bring the minorities in? Thank you.
I was talking about the LGBT community when I said minorities. I wasn't trying to make this a race thing.
Democrats can never seem to stop pushing that agenda, can they?
Honestly, it's really mean. Thank you for having us, Carol. I truly appreciate it.
Is that it? Are we done?
Thank you for watching Faux News.
Thank God.
Don't you say God's name in vain.